Boom shakalaka, with China flooding the markets with money. Are we going to see a pump like we saw after the US did the same thing in 2020? And 5 reasons to be exceptionally bullish. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including China flooding the markets with money and what this means for Bitcoin and crypto. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Push that like button. Now, today, fear and greed, 53, down a lot over the past week. From yesterday, 56. Last week, 61. The overall markets down 1.5% today. Bitcoin at 23,896, Ethereum at 1645, BNB at 309, XRP 38 cents, Cardano 37 cents, Polygon $1.34, and Dogecoin 8 cents. Bitcoin, after getting rejected from $25,000 like we were rejected back last August, right now hovering between that and the high point of the volume profile right around $23,000. Now, you also have to consider we have this 50-day moving average coming up quite quickly that could again be support for Bitcoin. And we have massive events going on in China right now. China is pumping in record amounts of liquidity into the system. Look at this. This is a development to keep close eye on for global markets. Now, I know the US is not printing money right now. We have quantitative tightening. But if we take a look at the overall effect, the monetary supply is increasing drastically, similar to what was happening. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the slope, which is the angle that this is at, it is actually higher right now with this Chinese money printing than it was when US was printing money after COVID. Will that filter into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? Very important question to ask, because when there's money, what are people going to do with it? If we take a look right now, Bitcoin is repeating almost perfectly what it did at the bottom in 2019. We saw support 1, support 2, falling down, resistance 3, and then breakthrough 4 with the 52-week moving average. Well, take a look at this. Support 1, support 2, resistance 3, and if we can break through this line right around $25,000, we could have another massive rally for Bitcoin. Long-term bullish signal historically when the stochastic RSI gets above the 20 line, this red line right here. Bitcoin did the unthinkable and rockets off historically each time this has happened. We're right at those levels right now. Could we see Bitcoin rocketing off in the near future? We also have a crossover than 20 and the 50 EMA. Historically, Bitcoin follows an uptrend after every time this happens, especially with all that money coming from China. But we are kind of at the crossroads right now. I mentioned before, right around $25,000 here. If we take a look at this chart, $25,000 is the line in the sand. The real FOMO starts as soon as Bitcoin breaks 25.5. Look at the history of Bitcoin. Every time the price has been below the EMA ribbon bands for a long time and finally managed to reclaim them, the upward phase for Bitcoin began. Look at this. We were below the ribbon bands for a long time. Were rejected once, but then reclaimed them, and look, massive rally. Look at this, below for a long time, broke through, rally, below, broke through, massive rally. And look at this, we're below and getting close to breaking through. Not only that, but we also have this downtrend support turned resistance that will squeeze Bitcoin above there. So getting very, very close to massive rally phase for Bitcoin. So now 5 reasons to be particularly bullish for Bitcoin. Willy Woo saying that the fundamentals are picking up on Bitcoin. When we take a look at the fundamental strength indicator, it's no longer overheated as it was earlier in the year, and it is starting to rise. If the price gets much above $25,000, you're hearing that same price once again, we could be in for a short squeeze. That's right, all the people betting on the market to go down could get squeezed having to cover their short, causing Bitcoin price to go up massively in a very short amount of time. Not only that, but if we take a look at Bitcoin investor sentiment swinging between fear and hope as the net unrealized profit and loss indicator, historically prices move upwards from here. So as we can see, when price goes up from capitulation to hope and fear, it doesn't oftentimes turn around and go back down. And as a matter of fact, it never has. Every time it comes from below capitulation into hope and fear, it goes up. And with that going up, goes Bitcoin price going up similarly. So we are at a phase where Bitcoin is repeating once again. We are in hope and fear, and Bitcoin never stops here. And if it rhymes, it's got to be true. Now, how about this? A lot of signals happening all at the same time that are suggestive of massive Bitcoin rallies. When the Williams percent R crosses this line, when the RSI has a crossover, when the stock VX3 has a crossover, all of these things happening at the same time, historically, these all happened at the beginning of massive rallies. We also have Bitcoin on the 2-week. Now he says, those who have been following me for a while know that I like to use the KST indicator to identify trend changes. This is the 5th cross in Bitcoin's history. You can see this right here, the other 5 crosses. All the other 4 crosses were followed with a strong uptrend. You can see right now indicating we are at the beginning of a strong uptrend for Bitcoin. And the last one, the one chart that has never been wrong, for those wanting to buy Bitcoin with complete peace of mind, be prepared to apply the strategy. It worked 100% of the time throughout Bitcoin's history. Time to take action as the crossover is imminent. When Bitcoin breaks through and crosses over, this indicator has picked out every single rally for Bitcoin and is about to pick out one more. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push that like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.